If you look through the annals of college football, obviously, or any sport, there are certain decisions that have been made that impacted other decisions, and the dominoes fall a certain way where it's impossible, obviously, to put the pieces back in the puzzle to recreate history. But you can come to some conclusion that, man, if that wouldn't have happened, then this wouldn't have happened. Therefore, this coach wouldn't have been here. They would have been over there, and that sort of thing. Is there any type of decision made by the football program that you would love to go back and take back?
Hiring Al Golden is one. The fact that he could not verbalize a single tangible reason why the Miami job is great when he was directly asked that in his opening presser, like that wasn't going to happen, like it doesn't always happen. Hey, Mark, you're here at Timbuktu State University. Like, what makes it great? Why are you and your family going to be here? Oh, hey, thanks for the opportunity, and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? And Al Golden couldn't say anything, but are you kidding me? You kidding me? You kidding me? No, not kidding you. And look, he was the steward of the program that I think maybe Miami needed. I just didn't necessarily enjoy that. Some people are going to say leaving the Big East for the ACC, but I think that that's correlation, not causation, for the lack of success for this, last 15 years or so. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that, that was a move that needed to be made. I mean, it's not necessarily Miami centric, but I mean, it involves Miami, but the demise of the Orange Bowl, the city of Miami just decided that they were not going to put money into that stadium and say, oh, we're not going to use public funds and we're not going to do whatever, and then put more than $500 million into building Marlins Park on the same plot of land. So what are we talking about there? You know what I mean? But I mean, yeah, it's a decision that's tangentially related to the University of Miami, but not a Miami specific decision. But I would say like those are a couple that stick out to me.
A lot of people commenting in the live chat. I think our live chat contributors skew on the young side. They love that 2017 game against Notre Dame.
It was awesome. Man, I was there. I was in the front row with my buddy Matt Washington. Used to write for State of the U, but now he's a full-time journalist with the Score up in Toronto, where he's from. So he unfortunately had to end his time contributing with us, with his contract and non-compete and everything. But we sat in that front row and everything, and it was electric. It was the Orange Bowl reborn. Any of those games at night. If you think about any of the games that we've talked about, I mean, that first national championship in '84, if you think about that, just any of those games, that Thursday night against Louisville, that Thursday night against West Virginia, and both of those were games that I wrote for the Games We Love feature. And I mean, they're not necessarily the most at the top of everybody's recollection, but if you go back and look at those, I mean, that stadium came alive. That Devin Hester punt return against Louisville, bro, iconic to this day, making the punter in that 2017 Notre Dame game in Hard Rock Stadium, especially after their coaches were, from the paragon of Christian Catholic education, of all of this, came on the field before the game talking cash shit. F this, F that. We're going to remind them. We're going to F them up. Coach is saying all that. 33 trucking Josh Adams. Oh, Heisman Trophy candidate. Who had 54 yards in that game. You know what I mean? But that, everything that built to that was the culmination of a decade of nonsense, of just mediocrity. And it was so cathartic because, again, the year before, Notre Dame went 4-8. And everybody in America could make fun of them. And did make fun of them, except for we could not, because we were one of the 4 teams that lost to those terrible dudes. But then we went and just exercised all the demons, all of everything, and just put it on them in a way that had not been seen forever. It might not, and I get why it is people's favorites and what people are saying, because, dude, it was that was a special night. Like, everybody left out of the stadium and we just went and tailgated again like it was before the game, like just hanging out, like people fired up the grills again, just had more beers. We're just all like there, like did not want to leave from the parking lots because it was that kind of a thing. And I mean, look, everything, the whole game day on campus, which game day had come to Miami before, but for Miami, Florida State, at the side of the Orange Bowl. So you had to get up at 4 a.m. to get over there and everything. But you have it on campus finally. You're looking at the new student center. You're looking at the new music library over the back. Lake Osceola is right there in the middle. Everything is going like that. I mean, you just had Drake there doing, music video shoot and everything. And I just remember, I mean, it was everybody in the parking lot before the game was just like, yo, I feel confident. I think that we're going to be good. And that's the second week in a row we had the 8 o'clock ABC game, because that was the week before we beat Virginia Tech when all black jerseys. So you come in and do that. It was the culmination for so many people, and especially if you are a little bit younger, you might not have been there for some of these elite games, even in the 2000s. Look, and I moved down here in 2000. Anything that was before that, I wasn't there for the Washington games in the 90s. I wasn't there for the UCLA game. I watched that on television. You know what I mean? So that 2017 game against Notre Dame, it was special, and it does have a special place in the hearts and minds of people who were there, and just even celebrating it just because it was so cathartic.
Michael Mitri, thank you so much for the contribution, and Al and others reminding everyone to please hit the like button. We will have probably 1,000 views by the time we get off the air. True. And should have 1,000 likes, but we'll have probably 100. Anyway, also keep in mind that if you jump on here, as many do at the end, as the viewer count is always at its highest, at its peak near the end of the show, what that means is, man, we could keep going forever and ever, but we have other responsibilities and other things we'd like to do.
Like get dinner.
Yeah, eat dinner for him. I don't want to tell anyone what I had for dinner tonight because it's not embarrassing. The place is the most popular place to eat in America. I'm just trying to stay away from that junk. But I passed McDonald's on the way home, and I'm just like,
I was going to say, you're loving it, right?
Went through Mickey D's and got the super size with the chocolate shake with the whipped cream.
Ooh.
And I'm trying to stay away, but there's a woman who works. She's got the desk next to me. This woman is insane in regards to bringing chocolate. She has cabinet fulls of just not in containers, just chocolate.
Oh, wow.
And she replenishes it constantly. She must spend like $50 a week, and she's like, just eat it. She just get it.
No.
And so I just shovel it down my throat like 30 a day. And I try to, I need some help here. And the problem is, and I don't say this please understand where I'm at when I say this to anybody out there that has weight problems. I don't gain any weight, but I'm not rubbing that in. But I consider that in a sense a bad thing, because there's plenty of 70-year-old dudes out there that look healthy, but then they fall flat on their face because they've been not leading the most healthy lifestyle. So I have no deterrent when it comes to that.
Hey, look,
when all the cholesterol measurements come back and they're really good.
I'll say continue to enjoy that, because I was that way, and then I had that hip injury a couple of years ago, and I couldn't work out anymore, and now my face is nice and rotund on the screen, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah.